A custom decoration business's accounting system does not have to be overly complicated. First off, it's a good idea to become good at bookkeeping, as simple bookkeeping is very easy. At its core, bookkeeping just revolves around three things. You have expenses, which are the products and labor and overhead costs that you have for actually running your business. And then you have your revenue, which is your sales. And this is from the money that you've, from the products you sold and you've brought in. Pretty simple math. Revenue minus expenses equals income. Based on how much the income of the business has, you then will pay what is called income tax on that income. Now, when it comes to the bookkeeping itself, you really just have to keep all of your account documents that you receive in chronological order. So for every receipt that comes into the business, you want to essentially put them in day-by-day order. What we often do is we actually make a copy of the invoice, put it in a folder, and then file it for any future reference. You want to have a hard copy of every single sales document and expense document that your business creates or receives. This is just in case you're ever audited by the IRS, you have all of the source documents you need to reference, and that can get you out of a sticky situation. Which brings us to, again, auditing. You really want to avoid being audited. How a business is often audited is typically because they're showing less income than the IRS might think they actually are bringing in. So they're just not reporting as much income, which means they're not paying as much in income taxes, and they're avoiding that, and the IRS doesn't like that. Or secondly, which is more common, the business is writing off a lot of expenses that don't actually deal with the business. So it's not uncommon for some business owners to try to purchase personal things or vacations and so forth and write them off to decrease their tax liability, but they're often not actually acceptable as a tax deduction. So the IRS doesn't like that, and they will come after you. And anytime the IRS conducts an audit and finds you guilty, they're gonna hit you with a much higher penalty and fee than what your actual tax liability was. So one way to really avoid getting audited is to find a good accountant. Now, there are all types of accountants, but typically what you want to find is a CPA, a certified public accountant. Now, if you're good at bookkeeping, which again is very basic, you can keep all of your books throughout the year and then just meet with your accountant once or twice throughout the year and essentially just go over all of your expenses, revenue, and deductions and so forth. More complicated deductions like depreciation are a lot more complicated for the average business owner to calculate, and that is when you typically want your CPA to be looking over your books. A CPA, their time is not cheap, but meeting with them should save you more money than it costs. An accountant should save you anywhere between 2 to 3 times as much as their hourly rate actually is. So you want to meet with them, make sure that you don't miss out on any deductions that you could have. And a CPA is also going to be able to answer numerous questions that you will have about basic business and just taxes. When it comes to taxes and your bookkeeping, you're going to have payroll taxes if you have any employees. You're going to have income tax. You're going to have sales tax. And all of these taxes are paid through different parts of the state or county. And having a good accountant that can guide you on where to pay them and so forth is very important. If you don't pay the taxes when they are due, again, the IRS gets upset and they come after you for a lot more than what you actually originally owed. If you have any questions about how to keep your books for your small decoration business or anything about accounting, please do not hesitate contacting us. Thank you.